Okay, real time, in the moment. What are my thoughts? First off, to any of you folks that think that this is a 72cc saw, you're wrong. The 2165, the 2165 is an old school quad port 65cc saw. Same thing as the Husqvarna 365 XP non-X torque. Okay, when you throw the X torque in there, then I think that I'm right with this. The X torque 2165, which I don't know, it's hard to determine what makes them X torque and not. I tend to think that the Altacore marking is a sign that it's actually an X torque saw, but I've been told that I'm wrong about that. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, I don't know. But there is an X torque version of this saw, and that, as far as I know, is an actual 72cc saw or 71cc saw. This is a 65cc saw. Do I think that it beat the MS400? Yes, I do. But just like with the MS400, I won't deny it, this thing did not want to get dogged in at all. At all. And whenever I was in the meat of it, you know, whenever I was in that meat, yeah, I was having to baby it through. So it did not want to get dogged in at all. But it didn't stumble. The bar never clogged up with chips. And if it did, it was able to pull it through. Does this feel heavier than the 400? Nope, it don't. I am certain that it is slightly heavier, but that's only because that's what they tell me. It really doesn't feel heavier. Maybe a little bit, sure. I guess I'll give up a little bit, but that 400 is a unique bird, and it isn't for everybody. And I would not recommend it to anybody, to just anybody, I should say. You've got to be wanting that saw, because it just doesn't fit in. Same thing with this, it just doesn't quite fit in. If you're going to run a saw this big, the power head this big, and then run a 20-inch bar on it, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me, personally, to me. If I'm going to run a 20-inch bar, I'm going to have a 60cc saw or something like that, or maybe a 50cc saw that's really, really good, but I got 325 set up, and I don't know, a 20-inch bar to me, But that's what these things really do well with the 20-inch bar. So does the 400, does really well with the 20-inch bar. You got an abundance of power for a 20-inch bar, and so it makes it just feel like lightning. It's just awesome, right? And it's enjoyable, it really is. But I think of the saw that I'm carrying around. And if I'm carrying around a big saw, I want more than a 20-inch bar. That's me, that's how I roll. I'm allowed to have these opinions, guys. One fella, new guy to the channel, I can't remember the name, and I completely understand you, I really get you. But you're watching my video and you're saying, like I'm saying that the Echo 590 should not run a 28-inch bar. That's my opinion. And then you say that in some fashion I'm wrong because the 28-inch bar gives you reach, blah, blah, blah. And that now that I have, my channel's big enough, I have some influence and I shouldn't be leading people down the wrong path. Well, what's the wrong path? You know? I mean, this isn't me complaining or anything. You had every right to say, you know, you were just talking, we're just talking. It's just a conversation. That's all it is, right? But I just want to say, well, what's the wrong path? Listen, it's my opinion that a 60cc saw has no place wearing a 28-inch bar. And I'm as entitled to that opinion as you are because you like the reach of being able to go like that. If you like that, you go for it, you know? But I'm not going to recommend a long bar to somebody if it's not my opinion that it should be on there. That's just it, you know? I mean, it ain't no big deal, ain't no thing or whatever. Just trying to explain the thought process, really. That's all it is. Yeah, I don't like carrying around a 28-inch bar. 24, I'm fine with. 28, that's just too much. That's just too much. I think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous because what do you do whenever you have a 28-inch bar, right? Now, a lot of you guys are going to jump on the bandwagon of, well, that's why you wear chaps. No. Get that out of here. I don't want to hear it. Anyways, the dealio is with a long bar, whenever I'm navigating my hills, I've got very hilly property, very, very hilly property. And so I have a tendency to go like this. And I pick up the saw with my thigh, okay? And whether you're wearing chaps or not, that is a bad thing. You shouldn't be doing that, period. A long bar tends to, I feel like, make people carry the weight of the bar differently. And I don't like to use one unless I need one. 24, I'm fine with. I can still carry it around, no problem. It's not dipping too much on me and stuff. But, you know, if you guys like that, you go for it. That's all there is to it. You go. You get it. You run a long bar if that's your thing. It's not mine. I don't like a long bar unless I need a long bar. Now, I do like a healthy bar. I don't like to cut from both sides. I never have. Cut from one side. That's it. Why am I going to cut a 24-inch piece of wood with a 20-inch bar and I have to get it from both sides? I ain't about that game. I like cutting right through it. But, you know, to each their own. And, you know, it just... Long bars, to me, should only be pulled out whenever you need a long bar. And you shouldn't run one on a 60cc saw unless you're in a pinch and you need to. Those saws were never built to take a 28-inch bar. I don't care what Echo recommends. You know, they're just doing what they're just saying, yeah, do this, you know. That 60cc saw, they did not build that in mind for you to go out and work a full day with a 28-inch bar on it. So that's my opinion too, all right? I like that Echo 590 a lot. I like the Echo 620 a lot. But because of their nature, which is more of a torque saw than it is an RPM saw, because of their nature, I feel like people spread them too thin. You know, they put too big of a bar on them and run them that way. And it's fine for, you know, just having at it and going for it and stuff. But if you expect to tackle something like this a lot with that saw, I think that it's folly. Get yourself a 70cc plus saw and run it. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion. You're watching this channel because obviously, you know, either it excited you in the moment to see it and you've gotten sucked in and listening to me ramble on and on, or you like me and watch the channel and stuff. And so my opinion means something to you guys, you know, even if it's just simply you want to hear it. And my opinion is the Echo 590 and 620 are great saws. They're excellent 60cc saws. They shouldn't be treated as 70cc saws. All right? Now, you can port them and you can have more power and everything, but if you're going to port it in order to treat it like a 70cc saw, meaning run a 28-inch, 32-inch bar on it, stuff like that. If you're going to port it looking to treat the saw as a 70cc saw, I think that's folly. Now, if you want to port it so that you can have the power of a 70cc saw, I am with you. But it still not built to carry one of these bigger bars. It's just not. And that's in a nutshell. Bing, look at me, I'm in a nutshell.